Hey, Jessica. There's a couple things here as we go through this. I'll kind of paste out the presentation. Here kind of language that I would have. Obviously, you have different stories you can put in, change the language as you see fit. Through different portions of this, I might pause, say note, and obviously what follows is for you, and then kind of continue back through. So let me go ahead and get this started. So again, it's finding your why. We'll figure out a better title for that. Boyd will actually go through the process. He'll edify you. Once he edifies you, then hand it over, and this is kind of where you start. How many times have you set a goal and not met it? How many times have you had great intentions, great plans, maybe even started to schedule it in? But you set a goal and just did not meet it. Something happened. Life got in the way. Don't worry. You're not alone. In fact, over 92% of people that set goals never achieve those goals. In fact, generally speaking, a goal lasts only about 17 days before it's given up on. One of the busiest days at a gym each year is January 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Some of the slowest days at the gym each year is January 18th, 19th, 20th. It's after all those people like, this year's going to be different. This year's going to change. How it just doesn't. They kind of get in their own way. So it's interesting. In a business setting, it's really worse. If you're a manager, you're a business owner, you can relate to this. Most employees don't have goals. And really the ones that do, 93% of them can't translate that goal and what it means for their day-to-day actions. They really can't break it down. They don't know how they fit in. They might have a goal, but how does that align with your goal as a business owner, as your goal as the manager? Most of the time it's not clear. And I don't care if a business owner can explain it or you as a manager can explain it. If the employee can't explain it, then there's not alignment. And that's a scary fact if you only have 7% of potential employees in alignment. So the thing is with this training, this masterclass, this presentation, it's not about a rah-rah session. Honestly, the last thing that you need is another rah-rah session. Those rah-rah sessions just leave you depleted, leave you feeling guilty. And generally speaking, you feel guilty in 5 days, 7 days, 18 days, 17 days when these goals aren't accomplished. And that's not what you require. It's not rah-rah. It's not live in the moment. Let's figure out a plan. What you really do require is a proven system, a simple, proven system that has helped hundreds or thousands of people hit their goals again and again and again and again. This is a proven system that has helped our clients, or thousands of our clients, not only set a goal, but really attain that goal. It's discovering what that goal is, set up a plan to do it. And it's been done again and again and again and again. And really, we've done this across all kinds of different industries, well over 50 different industries, really ranging from CEOs to manufacturers to even people for their personal growth. Thousands of people for their personal growth. In fact, the system has about a 72% success rate. And it's so easy. We have taught this to high school students and even retired government workers. We had a project, and this lady let us know, let it be known that she was 6 months away from retiring. She's been a government worker for 40-some years. She was 6 months away, didn't really get alignment with goals, didn't really care too much about what's taking place 7 months from now because she's done in 6. We went through the system with her. When we went through the system with her, is not only did she have alignment with goals and she was able to accomplish what those goals were for their final 6 months, but she also was able to have alignment with her goals in retirement and make those changes in retirement and live a happier retired life. So here's a great example on the business front. Lincoln Williams has owned a pretty successful business for the past 11 years. They have about 22 different employees. They do work really all over the Midwest. But one thing about him that's bugged the hell out of him is that for the last 11 years, he's talked about hitting some of these goals. He set some of the same goals 9, 10, 11 times, hasn't hit it. And what it came down to was trying to figure out and really define that goal. But once he did, and once you figure out the secrets, we're about ready to explore the method that we're able to go through with you. We were able to figure out that he was able to figure out and get over a 100% increase in his business by following this proven method. So a core of this method, a core to this method to achieve it, comes in the form of the success chain. Now, the success chain, note, Jessica, you know this much better than I do. So during this part, obviously, we walk people through exactly what a success chain is, the gaps, how to close those gaps. I imagine it'll be 3 to 5 minutes, but I'll allow you to kind of go through that. So let's go back to Lincoln. He's a fantastic example on how his behavior changed based on the success chain. Once his behavior changed, he was able to accomplish the goals. So that was a decent chunk of the success chain, was allowing him to really accomplish those goals. We don't need that one. So let me go ahead and give you a free download of the success chain that walks you through this process. As we go and continue to get into our methodology, which we'll get to here shortly, as we get into this, is you'll be able to reference the success chain over and over again. We've had numerous clients that have printed this off. We've had numerous clients who will actually put this into a little business-sized card, piece of paper, laminate it, and they carry it around with them in their wallet, and they always reference it. But there are clients that literally put it on a sticky note and attach it to their monitor on a daily basis. They can really kind of build that out. This is our free gift to you to download for being here with us. Again, Lincoln's story that I shared really showcases, and again, as we flow through this, I don't like that part. So the key to that success chain, the key to moving up, the key to developing something like this is really figuring out your why, discovering your why. It's that deep, non-negotiable bond that you have attached to your behaviors. So it's not just things that you should do. I get tired of listening to people all the time and should all over themselves. What I want to be able to do is walk with you, work with you, lead you to help you discover what your why is and what that deep, non-negotiable bond is. That's the key to hitting your goals. You can have all kinds of other things that pop up, but the key to hitting your goals is figuring out your why, becoming aligned with your why. So the question is, how do I find my why? How do I become aligned with my why? How do I find something that powerful that allows me to be unlike 90% of the population and actually help me hit my goals? So here's a bit of a process we go through. Again, we've led this process through thousands of different people in C-suite. We've literally worked with people in manufacturing plants. We work with students. We work with some government people. And it all kind of comes down to this process. And what we talk about initially is the 5 why rule. So we might ask somebody, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Those type of things. Note, Jessica, as I go through this, I am going to move some things up for flow purposes. So it's working with that. Okay. That 5 why rule. It's being able to ask yourself certain questions and well, that's great, but so what? That's great, but so what? That's great, but so what? How much deeper can you get? So some of the questions we start off with asking is, what do you daydream about? Think about it right now. What do you daydream about? When you're in the car alone, when you're about ready to fall asleep, and you have some peace and quiet, maybe in your office, maybe it's a weekend. What do you daydream about? Also, what are you most passionate about? What are some of your life's passions? What do you get the most excited about? One way to help you kind of discover your why too, to describe to me what your perfect day off looks like. The key with all this is become very, very vivid, to paint a picture. Your subconscious does not know the difference between reality and non-reality. Your conscious, if it can see, your subconscious, if it can see a vision, it can see an image in its mind, it believes that it's real. How can you use these questions to paint that picture? What do you value in a relationship? This is one of the big keys, because if you can answer the questions, what do you value in a relationship, you can figure out what your values are. What are some of your values? Everybody says it's honesty and integrity, which is great. It's a good standard to hold. However, let's get deeper than that. Is it being able to be flexible in your life? Is it being able to be open with people? Is it really to be able to take ownership in anything that you do, anything that you touch? Is it directness? What are some of those values? What are some of those non-negotiables with you? Once you can figure out some of your value system, then aligning your why with your value system makes hitting your goals so much easier. Really, what makes you feel accomplished? When you go through something at the end of the day, what really makes you feel the most accomplished? What are you the most proud of? So a great example of this, and helping kind of go through the why and helping to kind of shape this overall, is me personally. Nope. Jessica, this is obviously kind of in your voice. This is your story. Feel free to, change as you see fit. It was one of those things that, I had a couple of kids. I knew I was carrying around some extra weight. I didn't realize how much weight I was carrying around until I saw a photo of myself one day. And when I saw a photo of myself one day, it was a humbling experience. And the question is, how did I get here? I knew. And let's be honest, it was baby weight, and I kept on calling it baby weight, and baby weight was my excuse, and baby weight is how I framed it, is every woman gains baby weight, and this was baby weight. Well, by this point in time, my baby was 3 years old. And when your baby's 3 years old, you're not really calling it baby weight anymore. And so I went through and asked myself these different questions. And it kind of came down to, why did I want to do this? So I wanted to be able to get in better shape. Great. What does that actually mean? Is it losing weight? Is it getting a beach body? What does that actually mean? So I went a little bit deeper than that. So, what else? Well, I want to be able to do this for my family. I want to be a better wife. I want to be more present. Great. Perfect. But let's get a little bit deeper than just that. Because a lot of times the fallback with people is family. That's an easy excuse. And again, we're not looking to take the easy way out. So what else? Well, I did notice too when I did work out previously is that I managed my stress much better. I was much happier in the mornings. I was able to hit the ground running, if you will. I had a lot more energy, a lot more passion. I was able to make a lot more connections first thing in the morning. So it really just kind of helped me with stress management, helped me get ready for the day. I know some people do it on the opposite side. They do it at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night because it helps them decompress. It helps them to get ready to kind of slow down and get ready for bed. So that was a good one. Let's go deeper. Part of it too, honestly, that really scared the hell out of me is I saw a couple of my friends and my parents went through some health issues. And they went through these health issues, honestly came down to the way that they're living, the way that they, the way that their body was, the way that they felt, the way that, the food they put in their mouth, those type of things. So the big thing was to be able to avoid disease. But again, I always ask, that why, that so what 5 times. So let me get deeper. Let me figure out one more. Let me go one step further. How it kind of broke down was, I really want to be able to set a better example for my kids. I noticed them laying around on the couch, mainly because they're mirroring me. I was laying around on the couch. I wasn't feeling all that great. I didn't have that energy level. I would work hard during the day. I'd come home and cook and clean, just do the typical stuff you have to kind of do, and just be exhausted. And I noticed my kids just being lethargic day in and day out. And I realized they're mirroring me. They are my little mini-me's, if you will. If I don't take this seriously, they're not going to take this seriously. And so that became my core. That became my why. That became the reason why I've now lost 22 pounds. It's because I was able to align my why. My why was setting a better example for my kids. If I want to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, I don't want to get out of bed. Let's be honest. Most of us don't want to get out of bed at 5:30. But then I think about it. What happens if my kids were in the room right now and they saw me? What happened if they saw me struggling? Us as parents, come on. We want to look like superheroes all the time. That became a huge motivational factor. It got me out of bed. Once you got out of bed, you have that first step. For me personally, once I had that first step, I can hit the ground running. Once I got out of bed, I took the first couple of steps. Maybe I was always a little groggy going to the gym. However, I was going to the gym because I did not want to wake up, see my kids in the morning before I headed to work, before they headed off to school, and they knew that I was not working out. So what you want to do is get to the core. Get to the core and align your goals with that core. What drives you? What drives you?